I'm in England, on a canal boat headed for London to protest marijuana laws.
We believe that cannabis should be available and accessible as it is in Colorado or California. It's like a PR war. I am merely using my tools to the best of my ability. Which is a boat and a banner man.
Into the elements we go.
Apocalypse Now style.
This is a slow barge. 500 million people in the Western world now have access to medical marijuana in some legal fashion. While the concept of pot as medicine once elicited snickering derision, it is now widely recognized as having a serious role in the treatment of chronic and sometimes fatal diseases like epilepsy and cancer. In the United States, pot's newly accepted benefits have set off a green rush of entrepreneurial energy and opened horizons of scientific inquiry. But in the UK, the government still considers weed to have no medicinal benefits, leaving the country in the dark ages of medical pot. Yet an estimated 500,000 people in England, buoyed by marijuana's emergence across the pond, aren't sitting idly by waiting for the government to allow it. They're taking matters into their own hands and defying the law. I've come to the waterways of southern England to meet John Green, a medical cannabis advocate who helps patients safely obtain marijuana, to find out how weed is improbably thriving in the shadows of Prohibition UK. Hey, John.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome
Krishna.
to my boat.
This is your boat.
This is my boat. Would you like to come aboard?
I'd love to.
This is my humble home.
What kind of boat is this?
This is a narrow boat, which is an English canal boat. In the Industrial Revolution, barges like this were transporting iron around England and other heavy goods and stuff. It's wide enough to fit in the thinnest canals that will go all through England. These are my highways. These are the ways I travel around. River Thames, Maida Vale, Paddington Station, you may have heard of.
Heard of Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear, he's from the station. This is my kitchen area, which is a little bit messy. What we're doing here is making coconut canna butter.
Ooh, look at that.
That is that's all cannabis trim, and we have blended it in there with raw, organic, cold-pressed coconut oil.
What do you do with this butter?
What I'm trying to do is give something to someone, maybe that's in pain, that's going to help them. Just going to pour a bit in there.
Are there any risks that it could be harmful?
There's no recorded history of fatalities in the history of cannabis, and we've seen in clinical evidence that people have replaced prescription drugs with cannabis in states where it's legal. Maybe someone will try that and go, yeah, that works.
What if the police came and sort of saw this plant material? What was the worst case scenario would be for you?
The worst case scenario is 14 years in prison.
The British government doubled down on the stiff marijuana penalties John faces in 2009, when they reclassified cannabis from the less harmful Class C drug category to Class B, going against the advice of their own Drug Advisory Council.
Cannabis use poses a real threat to health. I'm clear that a strengthened enforcement approach for possession is required. Mr. Speaker, I have decided to reclassify cannabis to a Class B drug.
So the UK government has said that marijuana poses a threat to health. Have you had any sort of personal experiences with its medicinal benefits?
When my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer in November 2013, I managed to get my mum some CBD-rich 1-to-1 butter, which is high in CBDs. Now, everyone noticed the difference in her like that. She went from being bedridden to, to be up and about, to be riding her horse, to be...
Riding her horse,
riding her horse, and gardening and that kind of thing. But she sadly passed away in August 2014. And
sorry to hear that.
My number one aim is to raise awareness to true medicinal properties of cannabis.
Sure.
I just want people to know about it. I want people who are smoking it on their own, just wanting to get high, knowing that they can take that cannabis, making it into butter like that, and sort someone out in the local community. And I've got a bag of meds there, which is, I don't know.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of oil.
So that's not enough oil. That's enough oil for about 2 people. And I've got daily requests for 500 people. It's despicable that people don't have access to this. I've seen my own mother, benefit so much from this stuff, and unfortunately she died, but I've seen other people with the same conditions get medicine and come back from these conditions. And so why is that going on in my country? People are dying all over England. We have a total carpet denial of cannabis being a medicine. I'm not trying to claim anything like this is a cure, this is going to save anyone's life. I'm not a doctor, I can't render medical advice, and why aren't doctors doing this?
But you feel like it's a calling in a sense. I mean, it doesn't sound like
it's I thought I was going to save my mum, and I didn't save her, and she wrote me a letter that just says, I know this is what you're meant to be doing, and I believe you can help save many lives. And so that's what I'm trying to do.
Tell me sort of what you're after.
I'm just singly trying to raise awareness. With this boat, we'll be driving past Parliament, and we're going to go past here, in through the back of London, and we are going to release 1,000 CBD-rich seeds into the sky on helium balloons with notes from medicinal cannabis patients.
Do you think this is going to be exciting?
I think I'm very excited about it, yes.
Get the next question, you can.
With only a third of the country in favor of weed legalization, John has a long journey ahead to convince the people and government of Great Britain to turn the tide on pot prohibition. While John's voyage of marijuana advocacy could put him behind bars, this wasn't always the case. 300 years ago, the cannabis plant was hailed as key to Britannia's rule of the waves. Fiber from hemp, a native variety of cannabis, became so essential to sailcloth and rope making that Henry VIII originally decreed it must be grown across England, laying the foundation for the British Empire. Pipes excavated from William Shakespeare's home show the bard may have smoked a noted weed, and later even Queen Victoria would take to pot to ease her menstrual cramps. Yet in 1928, the British Empire forgot her long love affair with cannabis and acted with the League of Nations in outlawing the drug. Recently, inroads were made by pharmaceutical company GW, which was granted permission to grow cannabis and produce their marijuana-derived product Sativex by the British government. But today, the drug is only available to multiple sclerosis sufferers and can cost patients in England up to $7,000 for a year's supply, leaving the vast majority of medical marijuana users to fend for themselves. With John only able to produce a small amount of oil, I want to know who makes his stuff in quantity. So I've come to a public housing neighborhood in London, and I'm about to meet a guy named Hydro. He's an underground weed concentrates maker who treated his own cancer with medical marijuana and now supplies John's neediest clients with serious, high-potency cannabis oil.
Always have one of these.
Okay, good. So Hydro, can you take me through the cannabis medicines that you make and how you make them?
Yeah, I'll give you a first run out, and this is trim and leaf and a little bit of bud and stuff.
Where do you get this trim from? Who gives it to you?
Everybody's got a friend who grows a little something, and, they throw it away. So I say, bring it to me. That, what you're throwing away, to me, is a lifesaver, and to other people can be a lifesaver,
And when you say they, you mean people who are basically selling weed illegally?
Yeah. Some of them are really nice people, some of them are very horrible people. Some of them I would like to see them out of the business completely. Because,
what do you mean they're horrible people?
Well, they're not nice, they're criminals. They actually are criminals. After this, we would take this and we literally have the most dangerous part of the process, which is where we have to actually decarboxylate it.
You're putting a flammable substance next to a heat source.
Yeah, never smart. I
mean, honestly, I'm pretty nervous doing this inside.
Stick your mask on, please.
Because what can go wrong if this goes wrong?
You could burn down a whole building. You could kill yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
All right, I'm actually very nervous about this.
Okay, don't be so nervous.
Has it ever gone wrong on you before?
Yes, I've blown myself up twice, and from that I've learned never to do it again. So at this point, we'll turn it on, and it will start to bubble after it reaches a certain temperature.
But from an outside observer, they might see a hot plate, you're in a mask, we're wearing all black. This, it doesn't look like medicine, it looks like drugs.
It does. And that's because that's how they want it to look. We have a government that said we're not going to accept any medical value to this, even though GW Pharmaceuticals is in the UK. They want the money on this side, but the people that are sick here can't get it.
The people who are sick and who want this have to come to you. They have to get medicine that's made on a hot plate.
Yeah. This is basically almost done. I'll just take off my mask. Yeah, that's done. That's just oil.
Ooh, you can really smell it, though.
We don't charge. It's not about charging, you know.
How much do you give away?
Every week, about 20,000.
20,000 pounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
But for someone, that could be like 5 to 10 days of relief. And this is why we're actually fighting our government for the right for medical access, because it shouldn't be people like me sitting in a dank little house, risking my life and my freedom.
While weed chemist Hydro is risking his life to produce high-potency cannabis oil, I wanted to know who was using this back alley medicine. So I'm joining John as he consults with a new patient, Paul Webster Hughes, a single father of 2 and stroke survivor.
Hello.
Good evening, John. I'm Paul. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. Can you step aboard? All right.
I'm good. Thank you.
I've just given you cannabis in the privacy of my own home.
Thank you very much.
That's a 1-to-1 strain, which is 15% CBD and 15% THC. There's no recommended dosage because there isn't any medical data on how one should do this. But really, what I would say of anyone is try a very, very, very small amount. Just take even just like a pinhead to start with until you just get used to it. No need to worry about money because that's what we do. We give out free cannabis oil.
Very much.
Because Paul lacks regular, safe access to medical marijuana, he uses a combination of medical oil and street weed to treat the symptoms of his stroke at his home in North Yorkshire. So, Paul, if you could sort of take me through what happened to you.
2005, I'm living in Thailand, and I went out to my wife's village. Went swimming in the morning, and later that morning, I just fell. And I got video, it's bizarre, coincidental. Now, while you're playing around on there... And I was paralyzed down the left side of my body. And for the next 6 months, I was carried to the toilet. I had about 10% of my left body at that point. I've had a headache for 11 years.
Wow.
Can you imagine having a headache for 4,100 days?
Straight?
Straight, absolutely. I never get a break.
Imagine big rolling boulders or marbles crashing off each other. It's like a tightening of a skull cap on my head.
Did doctors sort of prescribe you anything to sort of help?
Sure. Yeah, I've been on pretty much all the medications that they're allowed to give me. I was on 14 pills a day at one point. So on these pills, physically, it closed me down. And a couple of them depressant enough to kill you. This last Christmas, I decided no more. And that's when I started smoking, because it dulled the pain. It allows me to do the things that I must do. It gives me potential. The pain's still there, but it's in a bubble. But it's like there's an extra layer between me and my pain. My kids don't see me smoke. I only smoke in my room. I don't smoke anywhere else in the house. I'm a single dad. My kids come first. Hello, you.
What do you do? Hi.
There's a word for your brother you'll learn when you're older. 7 girlfriends.
He's a player.
Okay, that's one way of putting it. Yeah, sure. All right, here's the view. Pizza. Can you bang it on? You can do that, can't you, huh? All right, homework. French.
History.
What was your history like?
64%.
64%. Well done, you.
Pizza's ready.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please, you're very welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Meat feast or pepperoni? I think it's meat feast, one of your favorites.
Looks like it's meat feast. Do you guys sort of like realize that like the marijuana that your dad's smoking is still like technically illegal?
Yeah, we do.
How does that make you feel? Like what?
Kind of scared that he's gonna get caught.
If I thought there would be a situation where our life would be threatened, I wouldn't smoke. That's just black and white. They're more important to me than anything. Okay, let me... Oh,
And you okay?
yes, it's just...
Is it sort of scary to think that he has to do something that's illegal to like feel better?
If it's helping him, I allow it. But if he's doing it for no reason, really, I would feel kind of upset.
Right. But it doesn't seem like he's doing it for no reason. It seems like it helps him a lot, right?
Mm.
Well, she hates smoking, I think, so the main thing. And she's got a pretty good sense of values. And to her, whatever she sees in the world says pot's bad. And she thinks in black and white. And now we give her this conundrum that Daddy needs it. It kind of throws a bit of a wobbly at her, you know? Mm-hmm. So she's trying very hard to reconcile that. We had a bit of a cry together and a cuddle upstairs, and she'll be okay.
I mean, it's hard, right? In a sense.
It's lousy. I have to live a lie. And no parent, especially when you've got absolute love for your kids, wants to do that.
I've come to the Limehouse Marina in London to see John on the final leg of his journey. Today, he's going to take his tiny little canal boat into the mighty River Thames to let his cannabis banner fly and to drum up support for marijuana reform right in front of Parliament.
What we've got here are some CBD-rich cannabis seeds, they're very low in THCs. We're going to pop that in the balloon.
Okay.
We are going to tie some notes to them from patients, medicinal cannabis patients across the UK, and we're going to send those up into the sky and hope they reach communities across Albion.
Amazing. So what do you reckon the day is going to be like for you? I mean, you're taking a small boat into a big old body of water.
It's going to be a big old body of water right there, be nice and choppy.
How is it different from the small canals that you go down?
It's tidal, so it's pretty dangerous.
Do you think the boat's going to handle it?
The boat is going to handle it, my friend. We do not like pessimism on
Okay, right on.
anywhere near my boat.
All right, John. See you, man. Good luck.
Namaste.
It's a little barge that could. Ready to legalise cannabis in London? Hey, how's it going?
Nice to meet you, man.
Good to meet you. Hey, man, I'm Krishna. You guys excited?
Hopefully we can make a bit of impact, not just for people in London, but for, you know, people all over the world.
Hey, Paul.
Krishna,
How's it
good
going, man?
morning. Oh, yeah. What a great event.
I know. How are you feeling? You excited?
I'm very enthused and excited about it. It's not just talk, these are real people coming out and demonstrating the reality they believe in. And that's got to make a difference, Krishna, in the end.
And what's it like sort of being amongst this group of like other like-minded people?
Brothers.
Like, you think
Family,
so?
yeah.
Amazing.
It's just being so open and honest about it. I asked them, did they feel at all self-conscious? Hell no. You know, this is what they believe and what they do.
Yeah, people are just like smoking weed next to the Thames, next to Parliament.
The English are very law-abiding, but I think now we're starting to see a movement that's going to give us a change. And this is the mother of parliaments. If it can't start here,
This is where it starts.
this is where it starts.
All right, looks like he's just about to go under Westminster Bridge. And he's just gonna pop out right in front of the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. I saw him for just a little bit right on the other side, and he looked really tiny, like the boat is small. And think, oh, look, you can just see him right there. He's coming in. He's releasing a balloon. Amazing.
Go on, John! Keep going! Get those seats, you tell Cameron!
Hey, John! There you go! Give a wave! You waved at us. And he looked so small compared to that building. As an American, coming to the UK and seeing how medical marijuana patients are faring, in one way it's a little dispiriting to see that they have to improvise and sort of do this underground stuff to get what they think is medicine that's going to help them. But another way, I'm seeing something sort of special. The people I met here are kind of filling in the gaps. Guys like John, like Paul, like Hydro, who are making real sacrifices in order to help people. Robin Hoods of sorts. They're forming these kind of ad hoc underground communities, taking weed from the black market, making it into oil and medicine, and then giving it to the needy. That's kind of a beautiful thing. That sort of like model of compassion is something I think that the world can learn from. What I've seen in the US is that legal weed can equal money. But here in the UK, it seems like illegal weed equals compassion. And what's cool is that compassion is free.